Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. Andy seeks advice from his teacher on behalf of his friends, who love to travel but struggle with spoken English. The core issue is enhancing their travel English skills, particularly in understanding native speakers and gaining confidence in speaking. Andy's friends face challenges like fast speech, diverse accents, and fear of making mistakes. They are eager to improve their language skills to better enjoy their travel experiences and interact with locals. Andy and his teacher discuss various methods, including listening comprehension techniques, immersive tools, technology, and integrating hobbies into language learning.
Hi, I have a few friends who love to travel abroad, but their spoken English isn't very fluent. I'm looking for advice on how they can improve their travel English. What are some effective techniques and skills they can work on?
Improving travel English involves several key areas. First, they should focus on essential travel phrases and vocabulary, such as asking for directions, ordering food, and making hotel reservations. This foundational vocabulary is critical for basic communication. Have they practiced these specific scenarios?
They know some basics, but they often struggle with understanding native speakers, especially when they speak quickly or use slang. How can they improve their listening comprehension?
Listening comprehension can indeed be a challenge, especially with varying accents and colloquial language. They should start by exposing themselves to different types of English media, like TV shows, movies, and podcasts, particularly those that focus on travel or everyday conversations. They can use subtitles initially to help match spoken words with written text, then gradually move to content without subtitles. Watching interviews or conversations between native speakers can also help them get accustomed to natural speech patterns. Have they tried listening to content specifically geared toward non-native speakers?
Not specifically, but it might help. What about practicing with native speakers? They don't have many opportunities for that.
Practicing with native speakers can be very beneficial, but if that's not readily available, they can consider using language exchange platforms like italki or Tandem, where they can have conversations with native speakers or other learners. These platforms often allow for video calls, which can provide a more immersive experience. Alternatively, they could join online forums or social media groups where English is the primary language, engaging in discussions about travel, culture, or shared interests. This can provide both practice and motivation. How comfortable are they with initiating conversations in English?
They're usually hesitant, especially if they feel uncertain about their vocabulary or grammar. They're afraid of being misunderstood.
It's natural to feel hesitant, but they should remember that most people appreciate the effort to communicate in another language. To build confidence, they can start with rehearsed phrases for common situations. For example, having a set way to ask for recommendations or directions can be reassuring. Role-playing different scenarios with friends or language partners can also help them practice. It's important to start with simple conversations and gradually increase the complexity as they become more comfortable. How do they handle it when they don't understand something?
They usually get nervous and might just nod or smile without really understanding. What can they do in those situations?
It's common to feel anxious in those moments, but it's important to develop strategies for handling misunderstandings. They can use phrases like, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that," or "Could you please say that again more slowly?" to ask for clarification. Learning how to ask follow-up questions or paraphrase what they heard can also be helpful. For example, they might say, "Do you mean?" to confirm their understanding. This not only helps clarify the situation, but also keeps the conversation flowing. Do they have specific areas they find particularly challenging?
They often struggle with different accents and the speed at which people speak. It's overwhelming for them.
Accents and speed can indeed be challenging. Exposure is key here. The more they listen to different accents, the better they'll become at understanding them. They might start with slower-paced content or use platforms like YouTube, where they can adjust the playback speed. They could also practice listening to various English accents, British, American, Australian, etc., to become more familiar with different pronunciations and vocabulary. Additionally, shadowing exercises, where they repeat what they hear, can help them get used to the rhythm and intonation of the language. Are they comfortable using technology to assist with their learning?
Yes, they're open to using apps and other tech tools. What kinds of technology can help with their practice?
There are several excellent apps and online resources they can use. For structured language learning, apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and Rosetta Stone offer lessons that cover grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. For conversational practice, apps like HelloTalk and Tandem connect learners with native speakers. They can also use tools like Google Translate for quick translations or pronunciation help. Additionally, they can explore immersive experiences through virtual reality, VR. Apps like Monly VR, which simulate real-world travel scenarios. This can be a fun and interactive way to practice situational language skills. Have they tried any interactive or immersive learning tools before?
Not VR or anything like that, but it sounds interesting. How effective are these tools compared to traditional methods?
Immersive tools like VR can be particularly effective for language learning because they create a simulated environment where learners can practice real-life scenarios. This helps them become more comfortable with practical language use and can reduce anxiety about making mistakes in real situations. These tools complement traditional methods by providing a more dynamic and engaging learning experience. They allow learners to practice at their own pace and in a safe space, which can be especially helpful for building confidence. How do they generally respond to new and innovative learning methods?
They're usually open to trying new things, especially if they see them as helpful and engaging. But they can sometimes feel overwhelmed by too many options.
It's important to find a balance and choose methods that align with their learning style and goals. They might start by incorporating one or two new tools or techniques and see how they work for them. It's also helpful to set specific, manageable goals, like focusing on improving listening skills for a month or practicing speaking with a partner weekly. This can prevent them from feeling overwhelmed and help them track their progress. How do they usually stay motivated, especially when progress seems slow?
They stay motivated by thinking about their travel experiences and the desire to communicate better. But slow progress can sometimes be discouraging.
It's normal to feel discouraged at times, but they should remember that language learning is a gradual process. Setting small, achievable goals can help maintain motivation. They might focus on mastering a certain set of phrases or successfully navigating a particular scenario in English. Celebrating these small victories can be encouraging. They could also keep a journal or blog in English to document their progress and experiences. This not only helps with writing practice, but also provides a tangible record of their improvements. Do they have any favorite destinations they dream of visiting?
They're interested in places like Japan, Italy, and Peru because of their rich cultures. They love the idea of experiencing different cuisines and traditions.
Those are fascinating destinations with distinct cultures and languages. They could enhance their motivation by learning more about these countries in English. For instance, they could read articles, watch documentaries, or follow travel bloggers who explore these places. They could also try learning some key phrases in the local languages of these countries, which can be both practical and a fun way to engage with the culture. This kind of preparation can make their travels more immersive and rewarding. How do they feel about the idea of combining language learning with cultural exploration?
They love the idea of combining language and culture. It makes the learning process more interesting and relevant to their travel interests.
That's a great approach. Engaging with the cultural aspects of a language can deepen their understanding and make the learning experience more meaningful. They could explore the cuisine, history, and traditions of their favorite destinations while practicing English. For example, they could read English language recipes from these countries, watch documentaries about their history, or even join online cooking classes taught in English. This not only improves their language skills, but also enriches their cultural knowledge. Would they be interested in participating in cultural exchange programs or international travel forums?
They might be interested in online forums or virtual exchanges, especially since they can't travel as often as they'd like. What kinds of forums or programs would you recommend?
Online travel forums and cultural exchange programs are excellent for connecting with people worldwide. Platforms like Reddit, TripAdvisor, or Lonely Planet's forums have active communities where travelers share experiences and advice. For more structured cultural exchange, they can look into programs like Couchsurfing or language exchange platforms that offer virtual cultural meetups. These platforms often host events where people from different cultures share their customs, traditions, and languages. They could also participate in webinars or online workshops related to travel, where they can practice English and learn from experts. Do they enjoy interactive discussions and learning from others?
Yes, they enjoy discussions and learning about different perspectives. It sounds like these forums and programs could be a good fit.
Definitely. Engaging in discussions and interacting with people from different backgrounds can be a valuable part of their language learning journey. It not only helps improve their English, but also broadens their cultural horizons. They might also consider participating in online book clubs or discussion groups that focus on travel literature. This can be a great way to practice reading and speaking, as well as to share their own travel experiences and learn from others. Do they have any particular interests or hobbies that they could explore in English?
They're interested in photography and cooking. They enjoy taking photos of landscapes and trying out new recipes.
Those are fantastic interests to incorporate into their language learning. They could join photography forums where they discuss techniques and share their work, all in English. They could also follow English-speaking photographers on social media or YouTube, where they can learn about photography tips and tricks. For cooking, they could try following recipes in English or watching cooking shows. They could even join online cooking classes conducted in English, which would combine both language practice and a culinary adventure. How do they usually engage with their hobbies?
They usually read articles, watch videos, and participate in online groups related to their hobbies. They haven't done much of this in English, though.
Transitioning to English content in these areas could be both enjoyable and educational. They could start by exploring English language websites, blogs, and YouTube channels focused on photography and cooking. Engaging with English-speaking communities in these hobbies can provide practical language practice in a context they're passionate about. It also offers a way to connect with others who share their interests, which can be motivating and enriching. Encouraging them to comment on articles or videos and ask questions in these communities can also help build their confidence in writing and speaking. Do they enjoy interacting with other enthusiasts online?
Yes, they enjoy it, especially when they can share their own work and get feedback.
That's excellent. Engaging with others and receiving feedback can be a powerful way to improve both their language skills and their hobbies. They could also consider starting their own blog or social media account in English to share their photography and cooking adventures. This would not only help them practice writing and expressing their thoughts, but also allow them to connect with a wider audience. It's a great way to document their journey and progress, both in language learning and in their hobbies. Do they have any specific goals in mind for their English learning journey?
They want to be able to communicate more confidently when traveling and also share their travel experiences and hobbies with a broader audience. They hope to eventually reach a level where they can comfortably participate in conversations and write in English without feeling too self-conscious.
Those are wonderful goals and very achievable with consistent practice and exposure. They should focus on small, consistent steps, like setting aside regular time for English practice, whether it's through media consumption, writing, or speaking exercises. Encouraging them to seek out opportunities to use English in their daily lives, even in small ways, can make a big difference over time. Remind them that every bit of progress is valuable and that they should enjoy the learning process. It's about building a skill that will enrich their travel experiences and allow them to connect with more people around the world. If they ever need more guidance or support, I'm here to help. Do they have any final questions or concerns about their language learning journey?
I think that covers it for now. Thank you so much for all the detailed advice and encouragement. I'm sure they'll find it all very helpful.
You're very welcome, Andy. It's great to hear that your friends are so motivated to improve their English and make the most of their travels. Learning a language is a journey full of discoveries, both about the language and about themselves. I wish them the best of luck and enjoyment on this journey. If they ever need more support or have specific questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day and happy learning to your friends.
The conversation between Andy and his teacher provides a comprehensive guide to improving travel English. The key takeaway is that effective language learning involves a combination of foundational vocabulary, practical conversation practice, and cultural immersion. They explore various resources, from traditional methods like structured lessons to innovative tools like virtual reality and language exchange platforms. The teacher emphasizes the importance of setting manageable goals, staying motivated, and celebrating small victories. By incorporating interests like photography and cooking into their learning, Andy's friends can make the process enjoyable and relevant. The dialogue highlights the value of persistence, cultural exploration, and engaging with communities to enhance language proficiency. Ultimately, the teacher reassures Andy that with consistent effort and the right strategies, his friends can achieve their goal of communicating more confidently during their travels and sharing their experiences with a broader audience.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.